Hello, everybody, for all race fans to Old School Motorsports as we get ready for the regular season finale at Homestead Miami Speedway. Coming into this race, Robbie Racing got his 5th win of the season at the road course at Canadian Tire. Very dominating performance. I usually get a chance to practice with these guys. Unfortunately, I was a little busy, so I got here a little late, so I don't really know who the favorites are, but we can check the lap times. Coming into the regular season finale, Tommy Armorbore is still the points leader, 13 points over Trinity Beast Mode in number 24. So it's a little bit of a close point battle, but after tonight, the points will be I guess moved around a little bit for the playoffs to finally get started next week. And there you see the fastest laps at Homestead. Deadpool 490 is a newcomer in the league. He's making his first start, I believe. And he's already at the top of the charts, so he's going to be a threat for this one, it looks like, with Robbie Racing right behind him. About half a tenth slower, but if the draft is normal, then this should be a really good race. I don't see any of the other racers in tonight's race. I don't know what's happened. Where are they at? Will this be a two-man race, or will this be a 13 car pack to the finish? Sure hope it's a lot tighter than last time. No offense to everybody, but they kind of just handed it to Robbie the way it looked. He just about ran away with that one. They are currently qualifying. I think it's about short 4 laps, something like that. They are doing 50% 2 times wear, which is 134 laps with stages. Don't know exactly what the length of the stages are or the tire wear, but if I know Homestead and presets is that you're gonna need tires every chance you get. So I don't doubt every caution that comes out there'll be 4 tires in. Fuel, though, I would probably try to have as less fuel as you can. Try to fly around this racetrack. Get some good laps going. Short 4 laps, something. I believe they already got done with qualifying and trying to see who won the pole from one of our, I guess you could say, onboard driver cameras broadcasting this race. And it is Deadpool on the pole with a not so blistering lap like he put, but it is the fastest lap, so that's what counts. 31.476, and then second is Tommy with a 31.663, about 2/10 faster than second place. That's pretty good. Looked like Trinity was really close to being on the front row. Lost it, though, by only 7/1000ths of a second. So it'll be a close race from there on back. I just wonder what Deadpool, if he had a really good qualifying setup, what did he do differently? Because all the rest of the times are pretty close. It's certainly nice to have a fast car and a good handling one too. There's a good difference between a fast car and a good handling car, and it's amazing when you can have both. Still waiting to get this race going. Normally, Wildcard Coyote asks me some trivia questions, but he's not here right now. He's a little busy, and I can't exactly ask myself questions because I know the answer to them right as I ask them. So that won't be that won't be the job. I know that the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series is racing at Daytona, and you know our very own Memories cheering on his driver Jennifer Jo Cobb. Shout out to him. Also, shout out to the sponsors, Go Fast Life and Keselowski Nation. For those of you watching and your favorite driver is Bob Drew, he will not be the number 2 this week. He'll be in the number 77 in honor of a friend of his with a really nice paint scheme. So this one's for Stubby. Still waiting to go green. I'd like to hope that these guys can figure something out. Just because of the lap times, that's such a good lap compared to everybody else's that I'd be worried just right now. Because I wouldn't want to. I'd certainly like to put up a fight if I'm going to lose a race. I wouldn't like to get just handed it. Give the race handed over by just pure speed. It's obviously a nice feeling when you're dominating like Deadpool's trying to do in his first start. That'd be very interesting if you can get it done. I wonder how many laps he'll be able to lead, or will they just try to get him on the restart and park it right behind him? A lot bigger field too this week. Last week, I think we had like 9 cars start and 7 finish, but it was a road course, and it's not everybody's cup of tea, or cup of tea or cup of beer. I don't know wherever you're from, but we're going racing in a few seconds. I see it counting down. And if I remember correctly, I believe they are going to have a pace lap, which I sure hope so. It's nice as the broadcaster to be able to catch the start of the race and not wonder what happened going in the first turn. As I was saying that, I was trying to hit the buttons on my wheel, but I forgot my wheel isn't connected right now, so I had to quickly go to the controller. Otherwise, I would have been sitting in that home screen all race. Looks like they're going full speed ahead, and the number 18 of Deadpool leads him down the back straightaway. Again, this is his first start in Old School Motorsports. You know, if you're going to make your first start, you might as well make it a memorable one. And starting on the pole, and away he goes. Homestead is a track where you can really use both grooves. It is nice that when the tires wear out, you can really run the top. The bottom lane just gets way too loose and you keep having to pedal it. I don't know if that is the case with the custom guys. Maybe the setups allow it, maybe they don't. That just depends on, I guess, how you really fix the car and what kind of things you are really focusing on. If you're planning on running the bottom, you'll probably adjust it to stay down there all night. It just depends on what you're looking for, I guess. Deadpool washes up just a little bit, almost gets into the wall, but he's using up all the racetrack, trying to get all the speed out of it. And there's Tommy Armorboy. He started second, but he has dropped all the way back to fifth. He is the points leader, but just 13 points ahead of Trinity Beast Mode. I don't know if they are rewarded for being the regular season champion, if that's even a thing, but that could be in jeopardy. If Trinity goes up there and gets a good handful of points, there is a possibility that he could still take this points lead by the end of the night. So Tommy's certainly going to have to go up there and try to make a race out of this one. Maybe be a little bit cautious right now as they're kind of racing really hard up there. That looks like Robbie Racing trying to get to second place over Trinity Beast Mode in number 24. Robbie Racing with the most wins on the season, 5. He broke a little bit of a winless streak. And in his standards, I think if it goes over a week, that's too long of a winless streak, because this man is probably supposed to win every week, but there's some guys who sometimes get him a little bit, and lately he wasn't there, but just dominated last week and made sure he was the man on top. Whole gaggle of cars here, and Deadpool's just driving away. They might have to try to figure out which one of them is the fastest, so that way they can line up and go catch that 118 car up front. There's 39 laps in stage 1. They've already completed 8 of them. So with 39 laps, that seems a little bit too much for what fits in the tank of one of these cars. I don't know if... I'm pretty sure they won't be able to make it to the end of the stage without making a pit stop. So I'll be looking for some green flag stops. About halfway, maybe 3/4 of the way through the first stage. As you see, Tommy Armorboy in the 3. He started second, went back to 5th, trying to look for him. Started second, went back to 5th, now has made his way back up to 3rd. Didn't really catch what happened to him, but it is a fast car that he has, trying to take it back up to the front. There's Bob Drew, number 77. Normally runs the number 2, like I said. This is a tribute car. Try to get a good angle of it. As he looks to the inside of Trinity, a little bit of a tap. No harm, no foul. That's a good looking race car. especially under the lights. Paint schemes, I think, and race cars in general just look the best at night. It's a close race for second, but it's a sure long way from second to first. But if I'm Deadpool, I'm loving every minute of it, and I'm just still trying to figure out a way to go even faster than I currently am, so I'd either watch for these guys to make some kind of adjustment to catch up, or Deadpool makes some kind of adjustment to just pull away even more. As you see, Dark Knight in the number 8 Chevrolet went winless his first season in Old School, went winless his second season. About first 8 or 9 races into this season, he was still as close as he's always been, and has finally gotten the first win, and then even backs it up and gets the second one. So the floodgates are finally open for the Dark Knight. Going into the playoffs, he's certainly one of the favorites, I would say, probably, to try to get something done out of this. He's one of the more aggressive drivers. It certainly helps too that he's got some good playoff points heading into it with those wins and stage wins and all that good stuff along the way. There's the Viper, the number 9. He's had some strong runs this season. I think if I look back to Chicagoland, he probably had a top 5 car. I don't remember where he finished, but I do remember seeing him up there racing for the lead. Did not have the race that he wanted, though, last week at the road course at Canadian Tire. I think he finished many laps down, but he's tried sticking it out a lot of it. He was doing donuts, just enjoying the race as a fan, but at least he got some points out of it, so it wasn't a bad day. Going through the field, King in the number 42. He's been consistent. I believe he's... no, that's actually Street Machine. I was about to say somebody's won poles. I don't know if Street Machine... Yep, there he is, number 5. As we ride along with him, he's won a couple poles this season. He's certainly been fast in that category. Has not won a race yet, but he's certainly got speed to try to do so. Looks like a different paint scheme. Normally blue and black, with this time it's red. That looks... Oh, and it's got white on the sides. That's awesome. That's a good looking car. I believe Cornbread is also a new face in this league. That's a very sharp looking race car. I love that outline on that 51. And he's racing in front of Dark Knight, so that's a good step in the right direction. If you can beat somebody who's won a race, then I'd probably give you some motivation to go up there and probably win one yourself. And there's Golf Nut. Long-time driver in the Old School Motorsports. That's also a retro-looking car. And the Queen of NASCAR. The stage stealer himself. Probably the best at saving fuel. And I mean, it's a wonder how he does it. We all wish we could do it. But back up front, there's Deadpool. Just about a good 2.5, 3 second lead over second place, and pulling away. I believe he's got Robbie in second. Yep, there's Robbie in second. There's Tommy in third. I bet Tommy wishes he was as close as he is right now to Robbie last week. And it's like, you know, if it ain't one guy, it's another one that just all of a sudden dominates, and you're the second fastest, and there's just wondering in your head, what do I got to do to beat these guys? I see on Robbie's broadcast, he's got about 10 laps of fuel left, so I guess I was a little right on them not being able to make it to the end of the stage without having to make a green flag pit stop, unless a caution comes out. Oh, and first one on pit road is Trinity Beast Mode. He pulled this strategy at Kentucky, and it worked pretty well to leapfrog some cars, but he got caught towards the end. I don't know how different Kentucky is to Homestead in terms of how much lap times drop and all that good stuff. But he'll certainly have a lot of laps to take advantage of these 4 tires. Still has 18 laps to go in the stage, so it opens the door to try to take 2 tires and a can of fuel, or pit early, take 4 tires and race hard from here. There's Bob Drew in 4th place. About little man on the island. He's got 2 cars racing in front of him and 2 cars racing behind him. So it's certainly nice when you have clear track, at least a little clear track in front of you. Don't got to worry about having to watch out for that car next to you, as the 9 and the 42 are racing pretty hard behind him. The Viper trying to get by his buddy King, and we have one pitting, and I believe that is Bob. Oh, and Dark Knight too in the number 8. There's a rub on him. I believe he did not make it to the race last week, but the race before that, I believe it was, he finished 4th, which was a very impressive run for rub on him. You love to see it out of these guys who are trying their best. You know, they're not always the fastest car, but everybody wants to win, and he's certainly trying hard to do it. So there's Trinity on 4 fresh tires. I don't know if Golf... Oh boy. I was about to say, I don't know if Golf has 4 fresh ones, but just by the way Trinity caught him, I would say he doesn't. Trinity's catching him in the wrong points. Finally gets by him, and he just opens a big lead. There is Golf. Almost lost it, but he caught it back there on the track. There's Street Machine coming out of the pits, using a little access road and punching the gas, going right down the back straightaway to try to catch right back up to the guys he was racing with, as Robbie has still stayed on the racetrack. He only has 3 laps of fuel left, so he will be due in a few laps as rub on him comes down pit road. It looked like he was coming a little quick, but he also stopped it pretty good, so hopefully he did not speed in that number 88 Chevrolet. As Deadpool, I believe, still continues to lead, and he has just opened up the gap even more on Robbie. Boy, if these custom guys, they thought they only had to worry about Robbie dominating these races, then Deadpool comes along and just one-ups the guy. Now I'd be really worried about how am I even going to get to second on these races if I can't even contend with them. I expect some big adjustments at the end of the stage. Right now, it's probably just with the laps that are remaining, just to make sure you make it. As no, Robbie's still going. I thought he was going to come in this time, but he's only got 1 lap left of fuel. There is the Viper and King in the number 42, pitting together and racing together. Just you gotta have your buddy, man. You don't want to be left there out there by yourself. seems like a little bit of a slow start for Dark Knight. Normally I expect him to be up there leading all these races, but here comes Queen of NASCAR. I know there was like 10 laps left in the stage, but I wouldn't have been surprised if somehow Queen of NASCAR just figures out a way to make it on fuel, which at this point might have been impossible. But the leaders are in. Deadpool in the number 18 and Robbie in the number 7. They're pitting together. But Deadpool, I believe, would come out first if he does not have a speeding penalty or any damage to fix. And yep, they both come out together. It looks like Robbie did a pretty good job entering the pits. He gained a lot of time that he lost on the racetrack. But as you see, the cars are flying by him. There goes Tommy, Armor Boy. I'm curious to know who is the leader right now. So Tommy is in second. Now he is the leader. But I believe that is Deadpool behind him. But he has... I believe he would have enough time to catch him, although I don't know what difference are their lap times right now. 8 laps remaining in the stage. Tommy just ran at 31.8, which is really not that far off of what they qualified, which is just about a couple of tenths off. So this might be a really good strategy for him. He might actually be able to hold him off, or at least make a race out of it, that's for sure, for the stage, as you see the 18 behind him. Here's Robbie racing. Robbie is racing for 4th on the outside of Bob. I believe that would be for 3rd, as I think that is a race for the lead up front. Whoa, got a little loose there, but there is the lead. That was a lot quicker than I thought it was going to happen. Deadpool catches Tommy and gets right back to the front. And Robbie following close behind. He might get Tommy for 2nd by the end of this stage, but this will be a good, certainly a good points for Tommy to make sure he keeps that point lead by the end of this race. He's been one of the most consistent drivers the past weeks, that's for sure. As far as I can remember, he's had some really good runs. 3rd place, 2nd place, got 2 wins in a row, and just a handful of laps remaining to get some more points along the way. There goes Robbie for 2nd. Man, Robbie just about caught that wall, and Tommy's going to stay right behind him. There's Trinity. He was the first driver to pit for 4 fresh tires. He did that with about 15 laps to go on the stage. He's run 10 laps. I know King pitted after he did, so this is not looking too good for the beast mode, as fresher tires are slowly but surely are catching up to him, and he's just gonna have to do his best to hold them off. It's a good field of cars, 13. You love to see it when it comes to league racing. You love the participation, the motivation. I mean, it's a lot of fun when guys can just get together and have these competitive races. You know, Deadpool got his shot to come out here and make his first race. Not only is he making his first race, but he is racing. I mean, he is literally trying to go out there and win both stages, probably, and he's probably going to try to go out there and win the race, too. Wouldn't be a bad night. He is in his final lap of the stage. So by the way it's looking, Deadpool is going to win the stage after winning the pole. His first race in Old School Motorsports and his first stage win in Old School Motorsports. A lot of times it's hard to get these goals, but he's trying to do them all in one night, so that's not too bad. He's certainly, with him starting his first race right now, he's certainly out of the picture to try to win the championship, but winning races is cool too, so he's trying to get that done as well. Looks like stage 2 will be about the same length, about 38 laps. So whatever pit strategy they did, depending on when they pitted, I think if Tommy can do what he did again, that would work out for him. I think Trinity pitted just too soon. He ended up in 8th place. But we're going to re-rack them and try again. Looks like Tommy got a little bit better pit stop. He's on the front row, and that put Robbie back to 3rd. Tommy was pretty good last week of taking the lead on the restarts, but the road courses kind of invite you to do that. Just by the way, you could slam on the brakes, try to outbrake that guy, throw it in the corner. Here, it's just try to drive it as far as you can, but I don't think you're going to outdrive a guy on one of these mile and a half, especially with a car as fast as Deadpool's. There's 36 laps to go in stage 2. So it'll be a little bit closer on fuel. I don't know if anybody took 2 tires that last stage, but this is certainly an opportunity this time. Oh, Deadpool washes up a little bit. He gets in the wall. He's gonna... Oh, and there's a wreck behind him. But Deadpool went from 1st to 7th, 8th maybe, in just one corner. That's how close it happens here with the competition. That puts Tommy right up to the lead, and he's certainly not gonna... If Deadpool can get back to him, Tommy will certainly try not to let him get by him. Looks like Deadpool is still struggling with that car. He's got a similar paint scheme as Robbie Racing. Actually, identical paint scheme, just different numbers with the same sponsors and everything. And just like that, there is a big race for the lead. There is just too wide. I know the real life cars are at Daytona, but these guys are racing like they're there. It certainly makes me excited for when the preset guys get to go here later in the season. I believe it would be in the playoffs. Multiple grooves. There's the 51 in 2nd. He had a rough first stage. I was wondering where he was, but he's another new guy up to second place. That is Cornbread. And Tommy's just trying to give both lanes even draft so that way one doesn't pull up right up to him. Man, I thought that 9 car was going to hit the wall for a second, but he certainly did a good job keeping it off of it. But now Cornbread he's on his own now. He doesn't have anybody on his inside, so he can certainly make a move. Whoa. Oh, shoot. Cornbread got loose. And now put him back to 6th place, but he will fall in line with the lead pack. Try to regroup and try again. I don't know what happened to Deadpool, but he's doesn't look like he's all up to speed like he was in the first stage. He had some issues there. So he's going to have some big recovery here if he wants to try to win the race. He certainly has the speed to do it. But back out front. Oh, back in the pack. It's 3 wide. About 4 wide. That was some good racing there. I'm trying to put on a show back here. It's hard to keep up with everything. Street Machine just can't decide which lane to go in, and none of them are advancing. He's stuck trying to push both cars, hopes one of them can get through. 42 is going to wash up a little bit. There's certainly room to go down there, but do you want to risk it? .42 gets by. Looks like Street Machine's gonna get by. Whoa. I don't even know if they touched. I think Cornbread scraped the wall a little bit, slowed him down. I think Trinity's bringing up his commentating buddy, Dark Knight, which would put Dark up to 7th. He has not had the fastest car, at least so far. He's certainly just trying to do it on raw wanting to get up there. The Viper's down pit road. There's a good race brewing though for the lead, trying to get up there. Yep, there's Bob Drew and Tommy Armorboy, both with 2 wins this season. Trying to make it 3. Boy, Bob got a really good run off of that corner. He really stuck it. Lost a little bit of ground. Actually, Tommy got past. I was looking at something else for a second. He made that one look easy then. This is kind of like what I was talking about before the race, is that as the tires wear, you could really use the top lane to keep the momentum up. Looks like Tommy's going to have to fix his car a little bit better for the longer run. But he is staying with Bob, so maybe he's just trying to figure out which line the car really can handle in. As the Viper has 4 tires, he did pit, so he's lapped down trying to get by the leaders without causing any issues. He's going to try to go by Tommy on the outside and maybe Bob as well. Oh no, he hits the wall. Boy, but Tommy really caught back up to Bob there. Looks like Vipers, he gathered it back up and he's leading that second pack, trying to try again to get back up to the leaders. Good move out of his part to try to not affect the race for the lead, try to get by on the outside without making any contact, but unfortunately he made contact with the wall. As Tommy gets a good run on the inside for the lead. He looks low, but nothing there. Gonna look low again. Will they get a bite off the corner, or are they gonna split and let Viper go through the middle? Yep. Let him go. He's not racing you guys, he's just trying to get his lap back. Boy, and that just brought everybody back up to the lead pack. Looks like 5 cars trying to settle it between themselves now for the stage win. About 13 12 laps remaining in for fuel. And 20 laps in the stage. There's the 18 of Deadpool. Right there with the leaders. I don't know what's happened to him, but he's really off the pace. That might be from damage. If there was a wreck, it's certainly not going well for him right now. But they're going right by the 9 car again, and he has the newer tires. I hope I'm right that all these cars are racing for the lead. It's hard to tell. Thank you 704 for no leaderboard. But with the power of live streaming, I could see that Tommy is in second, and so that is Bob in the lead. Just don't know for sure if the cars behind him are for 3rd, 4th, and 5th, and so on. Boy, but Tommy's back there for the lead, making it 3 wide. It's hard to get off this battle. I'm sure there probably is something going on somewhere else on the track as Tommy bumps him a little bit. Yep, and that is King in the 42 up to 2nd. Oh, Tommy gives him a little bump. And Trinity Beast Mode is up to 3rd, I believe. Riding high in that high line. This lead pack is just pushing each other, trying to get by each other, trying to lead the laps. It's amazing how you feel like you have the fastest car, and right as you get to the lead, you just don't, and the guy behind you has the fastest car, and so it's like, do you want to be the leader, or do you want to play catch up? At this point, I don't know. Tommy's got a little bit of a run on Trinity here for 3rd. Tommy was all over the back bumper of Bob, but I mean, they're right there with him, 5 cars for the lead. And they're going to have to pit soon too, so I don't know how they're going to figure this out amongst themselves, but they're going to certainly try. Running low on fuel, running low on grip of tires. It's just a matter of time before one of them gets into each other before they can even make it down in the pits. Oh, as Tommy and... I saw Tommy and somebody else down the pit, so there's Golf, and Rub on them. Yep, there they are, right there together, Tommy and Street Machine in the 5. Or as Memory likes to call him, Start Machine. But he's not here, so we'll call him Street Machine. hoping that Rub on him and Golf Nut are doing a pit stop and they're not out of the race yet. But the race for the lead is still brewing, as King is still all over the back bumper of Bob. Trinity's going to try to get a run off the top lane. King's trying to go up there and just lead these laps. Side by side, King leads that lap. For a moment, it looked like Deadpool's race there, dominating day, but nope. This stage, you've had just about 5 different leaders, which has been amazing. A lot more than there was last week, let me tell you. There is just about 10 laps remaining in the stage, and they still have not yet come down pit road, so they're still gonna have to do that. The other group that was behind them will certainly be ahead of them by the time these I guess I missed Trinity coming down pit road, but he's left this lead pack. So they won't be as tightly packed as they were earlier, but there'll be some strategy in terms of can they catch back up to each other, as Tommy and Street Machine pitted together, and there they are, 9th and 10th currently. Deadpool right behind him in 8th. 11 laps to go in the stage. The leader still is King. He still has not come down pit road, and there he is, right as I say it. So he will relinquish the lead, but I do not know who he'll pick it up once he comes down. Try to figure this all out soon, but it looks like Golf Nut in the 22 and Rub on him in the 88 are still in the pit, so unfortunately it looks like we have 2 early goers in this one. Speed of NASCAR. Yep, that's fuel saving right there at its finest. You try to shortcut this track as much as you can. So, Robbie Racing in the number 7 is the leader. If we can find him here. There he is. In that rowdy energy drink Chevrolet. The Dominator last week, trying to make it 2 in a row, trying to get 6th win in a season. He is not the points leader. He did unfortunately miss a few races, but he's certainly driving like he's ready to go out there and be consistent in the playoffs. The final 10 races of the season. It's been a long season so far, but it's certainly been a good one in terms of the racing and the competition. There's Bob on the inside of Street Machine. Whoa! cleared himself up, but he certainly cleared a little too much, slapped the wall. And I believe that would probably be for third place. So that would probably put Tommy in second, right in front of him. By the way, it's looking for Robbie. He did something interesting in terms of pit strategy, because he only has 5 laps of fuel left, and his tires are really worn out, so I don't know what he did, but it certainly worked a little bit. Queen of NASCAR, by the way, is in second, so that little battle I was just showing is for fourth. There is the second place car, the Magic School Bus of Queen of NASCAR. Trying to get every last drop of fuel to make it in the stage. About to give you a lap count here in a second as the Queen of NASCAR ducks down pit road. 3 laps remaining in stage 2, and Robbie has 3 laps remaining in the fuel tank, which is, as long as it ain't under, we're all good. Got just about a whole straightaway lead on second place. So he has enough time to back it down a little bit. Just make sure he makes it to the end of the stage. I don't think he'll have to worry about it though, but certainly no pressure behind. So Bob is in second, 4 seconds behind Robbie Racing, and Tommy's in third. And they are on the last lap of the stage. So it looks like Robbie's going to win 3 out of the last 4 stages. He won both of them last weekend. Or last week, I should say, and did it in dominating performance. He's back out front now, and he's going to win stage 2. Did it on fumes, it looked like. Just perfect in terms of that little strategy he pulled. But Trinity's in fourth, so the top 5 is Robbie Racing in first, Bob in second, Tommy in third, Trinity Beast Mode in fourth, and King in fifth. And unfortunately, nowhere there in the top 5 is Deadpool. After a rough little start there to the second stage, he has a chance here to fix damage or anything that happened there to make his way back up. Oh, it looks like Red Bottom had a power outage in his, so that ended the race early for him. First car lap down is Queen of NASCAR in 11th, so he'll get the free pass. And Deadpool is back up to 6th, so he's definitely not out of it now. He'll be 3rd in line in the outside lane if the pit crew can do a good job. "52 laps remaining in stage 3. First stage is in the books, second stage is in the books. Now it's time to go win a race." as Robbie Racing, trying to make it back-to-back wins. That seems to be the common theme in this custom league or custom series. It seems like if you win a race, you're going to probably win the next one or just do really well. We got one going really low to back there, but he saved it. That looked like the queen of NASCAR. And they're just all over each other right now, trying to figure out a way to get by. It's also something interesting is that when you pick the wrong lane, you'll go backwards when it felt like you were going fast enough to go by everybody. And the way that this stage is set up, I wouldn't really doubt it if somebody tried splitting the stage in half. At least that's what I would do. Maybe 25 laps. And there's Bob Drew. All over the back bumper of Robbie. You see how it doesn't really suck up that much, but he's going to try to look on the inside, try to get to the lead. Not going to happen that lap. Here's the aerial view from the virtual Goodyear blimp. That's Deadpool back up to the top 5. Got a little loose there. Oh, and Bob's got a good run. He's going to try to dive bomb. Slide job. No, Robbie just hits the gas and goes on the outside. Bob's going to have to try to get up there and side drive a little bit. No. Making the inside lane work is something difficult on these kinds of tracks. You need all the room you can get and all the grip you can get. But Bob's doing a good job there. Just 6 cars under a blanket here for the lead. Deadpool's been picking them off one at a time. He's up to 3rd. Looking for 2nd as he hits the wall. Oh no. My commentator's curse there. Hadn't said a word for a few seconds, and right as I opened my mouth it got him a little bit, but I think he's hanging on there in the back of the pack. No, he is. He's a little ways back now. Yeah, that really slowed him down. That's too bad. But back out front, Robbie is still trying to hold off Bob. I mean, Bob's literally saying, what do I gotta do to get by him? And if you're Tommy in this position, I wonder if, do you try getting by Bob, but risk slowing both of you down and letting Robbie go by, or do you just try to push Bob by Robbie and then get them side by side so that way you can try to pass one of them yourself? It's an interesting game. But with a few laps remaining in this race, I mean, all bets are off at this point. Trying to get the win, trying to, for Bob and Tommy, I think there's like a three-way tie for second most wins this season. A lot of them have 2 wins. One of them is going to try to get 3 by the end of this night. Or will Robbie just win another one and make it 6? Trinity hasn't had the fastest car, but he's been the most consistent. He's been hanging around the top 5 all night. There he is in 5th, right behind King in the 42. Looks like Bob took a look again, but it just isn't working for him. Robbie somehow making that car 4 lanes wide. Oh boy, he got loose and smacked the wall there. That's some big damage on the right front. I don't know how much this is going to affect Robbie, but it's certainly not going to help him. And with the race coming to an end, do you even try fixing the damage, or do you just try to minimize the pit stop and run it out from here if it doesn't bother you? He's still hanging on with Tommy, so it doesn't seem that bad. It certainly isn't affecting him. He's trying to go back for second. For a second I thought he just hurt himself, but it looks just fine to me. But that just let Bob get away just a little bit, and he's certainly asking him to do it again. Looking like 15 laps remaining in the fuel tank, so I don't know what the plan is. It's certainly looking like 4 tires on this pit stop if we go caution free to the end. 36 laps remaining, so if you wait to run it dry, you'll have 20 laps left in the race. Or you could just pit maybe even 5 laps and try to split it in half. There'd be some interesting strategies if but man, Robbie's fast. He just cut right back up to Bob after smacking the wall. That's certainly not slowing him down any. And I believe that is Deadpool back up to looking for 3rd, I think. Yep, there he goes. Deadpool also hit the wall a little bit, and he gets a little bit loose off that corner, but him and Robbie both smacked the wall on this stage. Went back, and now they're back up to the front. So, after what was a calm stage 1 for Deadpool, he has clawed his way back up to the top 3. He certainly believes he should win it, and if I was him, I would think I should win it after the lap times that he's been putting up, so he's determined. And kind of like what I said in stage 2, it looks like Tommy isn't as fast as he is in the opening laps of the stage. He's kind of falling back a little bit. And the 2 Rowdy Energy cars are teaming up here for the lead. Almost made it 3 wide for a second. thought better of it. Bob's going to get a really good run off of that corner. That's a sharp looking car there for Bob, trying to keep it up front. Robbie's car looks really strong on the bottom. He just about passed Bob there in that turn. They're bumping a little bit. This is letting Tommy catch back up to the lead pack. Man, and Robbie's just going to throw it in there and take the lead. That was a really good move. But Deadpool's going to try to pass them both on the inside. If he can make it stick on the bottom, he'll probably get second, but he might fall behind in third or may go all the way to the inside wall. Man, Deadpool's car is just something else. It's really faster. It's really out of control. I'm trying to catch back up to him, but so many cars, it just keeps flipping through them all. If you have a 7 on your car, you might be first or second. That's the way it's looking like right now. Number 7 lead, 77 in second. And Deadpool, you see him a little bit far back there in fourth. Dark Knight, though, I don't know where he is, but he hasn't been up front all night long. It's certainly frustrating. If I was, he's used to leading these laps, contending for wins. It hasn't been the night he was hoping for. There's Deadpool. Trying to get by Tommy again. That's the most frustrating thing, and then it's not nothing that Tommy's done, but when your car just keeps getting loose, you keep falling behind guys, keep having to pass the same guys, it gets just frustrating because it's like you believe you should be up there. And it does look like these guys are going to run them dry a little bit on fuel, so that way they're going to, it looks like by the time they make their pit stops, it'll be 25 laps to go. They only have 6 laps remaining in the tank for the lead cars. So this opens the door too for somebody to short pit, maybe like Tommy, who's a little bit behind. He could probably pit now, leapfrog the leaders, and block the heck out of them. I like pitting earlier than most just because of that reason that the fresh tires does the passing for you while everybody else is still in the pits. But you are at the disadvantage of having the more used up tires. Looks like 2-car tandem. You got the leaders together, second and third, or third and fourth are together, and fifth and sixth are together. And if I'm Bob right now, knowing that I'm gonna have to pit in 4 laps, I don't. The urgency to try to pass Robbie for the lead just goes down, and I'm just worried about not getting run over from behind entering the pits or speeding, because right now you're in a good position. You don't have anybody pressing you from behind as he is going to pit right now. Back her down. Looked a little fast coming in. Hopefully he did not speed. I was looking to see if he sped or said anything, but we'll find out for sure. And there's Robbie coming down the pits, and oh boy, a whole lot of them coming in. Robbie, Tommy, Trinity, and Street Machine, 4 cars all coming in together. So they'll have enough to make it from here. Tires have not been an issue in terms of wear. They've only gotten back. They've only gone down to about 40%, 45 by the end of the fuel run, which is really nothing to worry about then if you're gonna run it dry. So there's Bob. Just saw him pit a lap earlier than these guys, and there's another group of cars coming down. So pit road's a busy place. We've got about 7 cars, some exiting, some entering. And Bob did not speed, so that's good. So he's going to pass these guys really far out there. That was a good... It's good that he had speed. He certainly made up some ground. That's a really good pit stop and entrance. He's got a really good lead on these guys. Only got a couple laps on his tires, so Robbie's gonna have to make up some ground here. And I feel like by the time Robbie would get there, if he does, he would have used up his tires, so they'd be pretty even by the time he gets there. So that's a really good strategy for Bob. And Tommy's in third. You see him there in the background. And it's one of those things where it's like, do you just stick behind Robbie and try just pushing him to catch Bob, or do you, if you feel like you're faster, do you go for it and try to get up there yourself? That's the difficult thing to do as a driver, to be disciplined, to just push your competitors and then quickly become enemies again and try passing them the next chance you get. They are catching Bob, it looks like, but it's not at a really quick pace. So if they do get there, I expect Bob to put up a little bit of a fight, try to hold them off, get the win in that awesome paint scheme. And Deadpool is up to 4th, so he's still in the top 5 after... When he gets the closest to the front, that's when the car seems to act out the most. But he's managed to hold on to it a few times. So he certainly put on a show for his first appearance in Old School Motorsports. 19 laps to go. This is the view from Robbie. He is in second. That is the leader right in front of him, so he is catching him. But what is he going to do with him when he gets there? And will he be able to pull away? And this is one of those difficult moments for Robbie where you don't know when to make the move, because you got some guys right behind you. So if you make it too early and you start racing, these cars will be right on your bumper, making it 4 wide, taking advantage anytime they can. And Robbie is there. 17 laps to go. Plenty of time to race hard. Plenty of time to make mistakes. Gonna try not to make any mistakes here. Robbie looks high a little bit, trying to get a run off. Look, I think Bob can hold him off if he races them just a little bit hard. Just try not to get loose off these corners. But Tommy and Deadpool have caught the lead pack as Robbie's looking to the inside for the lead. Ooh, Bob's gonna get right on this door and try not to let him. A little bit of a side draft. And Tommy's right on the bumper of both of them. Looks like Robbie's gonna drive right on by. Bob might. No, man, he almost hit the wall there, driving it in there. Looks like Bob's in trouble though. He's surrounded by cars with a few laps fresher tires. He's got a really good run on the inside. He's not out of it though. And neither is any of these guys in the front pack. It looks like Trinity is by himself there. In 5th, I would believe. Yep, that is the battle for 5th. King in the 42, Trinity in the 24, and Street Machine in the 5. But I'm going to quickly go back up to the front because they're racing hard. 3 wide. It's amazing how much quicker the laps wind down in terms of a viewer when you're too busy racing and not paying enough attention to what's actually going on. Whoa, there's a really good run for Bob. Is he gonna clear him going into this turn? Oh man, he drove it in, bump a little bit. Amazing racing out of these custom cup drivers. It's the oval tracks apparently that they've got it figured out. I was really excited to broadcast this one because I was hoping they'd really put on a show here. I'm a little surprised though that Deadpool hasn't been able to pass Tommy yet for 3rd. Maybe I'm sure he's not being cautious just because of the fact of how many laps are left, and cautiously in terms of how hard he's pushing it. As Bob takes another look to the inside, Bob, I'm getting confused myself. Bob takes another look to the inside of Robbie for the lead. Tries to get his right front to that left rear quarter panel for the side draft, but Robbie just pulls ahead slowly. 10 laps to go at Homestead. 10 laps to go in the regular season. 10 laps to go until the playoffs begin. Tommy's got a good run on the inside of Bob. He's saying, if you can't get it done, Bob, I'm going to have to do it myself. I'm tired of waiting back here, but he got past. This is what I was saying earlier, is you make that move on the inside of somebody, and then you might just get past yourself. Man, that was a power move for Deadpool. He just went right by Bob. Now we've got a race here. And that shot right there looks like they're going 3 wide, but that's just how many lanes you can use on this track. Oh, a little bit of contact there. Eight laps to go. They're getting squirrely, they're getting racy. Robbie's saying, race harder, race harder. Get away from me. Deadpool's gonna look to the inside of Robbie. He's gonna get there. He's got a really strong car in the bottom lane. If Robbie can try to pick the lane that Deadpool's gonna be in. Oh, and he just did it again. Deadpool's in the wall. It looks like there's, if he's got time, it's gonna be close to get back up there. That put Tommy back up to 2nd. What will Tommy do to win this race? That is my question. On the preset side, I'd probably give him a little bump, move him up a lane, and call it fair game. I don't know if the other driver of the three, which is Tommy in the Custom Series, as he looks to the inside for the lead, coming to 5 laps to go. That was a really good run. He gets to stay next to Robbie there. But Deadpool's there. He's back. That was not the end of his race. When he got into the walls, boy, he almost lost it there. And Bob is on the outside with the hard charge. It's a 4-man race. You mess up now and it might be over. Man, I thought it looked like Deadpool was trying to make 3 wide. But they're side by side for second, and that's exactly what Robbie wants to see. Is Tommy gets a really good run. Can he clear up? Oh, no, he can't. Bob's going to get the run, but he'll get right up to the bumper of Robbie, but not have anywhere to go with it. This is really frustrating when you're Tommy, because you're just either hoping for Bob to get by you already, or you're trying to get by him. And Bob's got a really good run. He's going to take it to the inside. This seems to have been the common theme all day. You take a look on the inside of Robbie, but you can't go anywhere with it. And Tommy's gonna... Oh, they're 3 wide for second. Is Deadpool gonna pass them both? Oh, man. That just sent Bob into the inside wall. Oh, Tommy's on the back bumper of Robbie. Looks like I think there are about 2 laps to go. No, this is the final lap. Tommy's on the inside of Robbie. Oh, Robbie's in the wall. Little push and a nudge. A little bump and run, a little bumping and banging. The 3 car is going to get his 3rd win of the season. The points leader and the race winner. Tommy Armor Boy. That was a fantastic race by these Custom Cup drivers. Unfortunately, Deadpool went all the way back to 10th. But the top 3 is Tommy Armor Boy in 1st, Robbie Racing in 2nd, Bob Drew in 3rd. In 4th is King in the 42, and Trinity Beast Mode in 5th. And the number 24 is Chevrolet, so we'll try to get these guys in here. Will be a little bit of a blue screen for a second, so bear with me. I am a single-man booth, but we'll try to get Tommy Armor Boy, Robbie Racing, and Bob Drew. And the fastest lap goes to Robbie Racing, as we have Bob Drew joining.
How's it going, chap?
That was a freaking awesome race, man.
That last lap didn't do it for me, but yeah.
No, that was unfortunate, but you at least got third.
Yeah, I said at the beginning of the race, as long as I get a top 3, I'm alright. Really wanted that win. Had a really good car all night.
It was a good looking car too. I like that paint scheme.
Thank you. It's a tribute to Steve Brandenberry. Passed away last night, so.
Shout out to him here on the broadcast. Got a good look at that paint scheme up front a few times. Looking for the win. Looking for the third win of the season. Still waiting on the others to join.
Robbie usually takes a minute to get in here.
He's got to thank the sponsors. There he is. Well, I guess as we wait for Tommy, I'll get going here with Bob Drew. Finished third. Normally drives the number 2. Changed to the 77. Awesome tribute scheme. So I'd like to ask, did you make any good changes? I saw that you also pitted a little bit earlier than these guys. They're in that final stage. Were you worried that when they caught you, you wouldn't be able to hold them off?
I was just hoping I could get enough of a gap that by the time they caught me, it would be too late. But that didn't work out so well. They got me pretty quick, and then I had to race them the rest of the way. But I was trying a little different strategy. I knew everybody was going to go all the way to the end.
That's normally what I like to do, is short pit and get like a really good lead and then hope that they just really wear out their stuff by the time they get there.
The tires I had, and have them for the last few laps, which I did. Once they got me, I relaxed a little bit and took it easy on the tires, and by the end I had enough to race for that last lap, which didn't end so well. I got in a little bit of an incident. Someone looked like they got loose out of the turn, knocked me down low, so I gave it hell tonight. Did all I could.
Certainly was a good effort. It was a very entertaining race. Really good looking race car, and
it was, yeah.
Yeah, thank you. I want to thank Go Fast Life and Kozlowski Nation, anybody that tuned in, and anybody from the Brandenberry family. We lost Steve this week, so
Yeah,
he was
prayers
a great
go out
man, and he this is the car that he built, the street stock paint scheme that I got on the car tonight. He built with his 2 sons. They're Dustin and Chad. And Dustin's been my friend for 12 years, so it meant a lot. I really wanted to get in victory lane, but each time I got the lead, man, I kind of had to look up for a second, like, because I didn't know what I had at practice, but it showed up at the end.
that was really
He did
good.
well on older tires, for sure.
I was impressed. I'm like, here he comes again. He's got older tires and hold him off. But last week's winner was Robbie, and he absolutely, I would say, stole it last week, and this time he looked mortal today. There was finally cars faster than him. I guess my question is, what kind of strategies were you doing? Were you trying to be the fastest car again? Did you think you could go back to back, especially with like 4 cars all in a pack like 10 laps ago? I mean, what are you thinking there, Robbie?
During stage 1, as always, you know, it's test a car. I did do a fair bit of testing before, but seems when you get into a different lobby, you know, sometimes it feels a little bit different. So I spent stage 1 getting a feel for the car. I made absolutely no changes to the car whatsoever. I kept on eye on the fuel as well, ready for stage 2. So I decided to go for strategy during stage 2, getting some stage points. And then stage 3, I knew it would be a one-stop pretty much for everybody. And I knew I had to go all guns blazing, go as fast as I can, and try and keep in the draft.
Yeah, I thought it looked like by the time you had caught Bob on the older tires, I thought you were going to blow by him, and then he still hung on. And then at that point, it's just like, do you even want to be the leader, or do you just want to try to hold him off every lap?
At first, I really weren't sure what I wanted to do. When I come to Bob, I was like, do I sit behind him? So when I started sitting behind him, the guys behind me, they were catching real quick. I was like, oh man, I've got to go. So I hope to put a show on for you guys. And you know, Bob's a good driver, Tommy's a good driver. There's a lot of good drivers in this league, and I'm looking forward to the playoffs.
It was a very entertaining race from my point of view. I was worried that everybody was going to wreck. I'm glad it was everybody, or at least most of y'all, kept it there. But Tommy with the 3rd win in 3 of the last 4 weeks. If you'd just gotten it done last week, we'd be talking about 4 in a row, but that's okay.
Oh, yeah, I had no chance last time. He was too fast.
Yeah, that was if only it was some other track. But, I mean, that was I know it was not intentional, obviously, that little bump at the end.
I felt horrible about it, yeah.
But, I mean, did you think that you had a car capable of winning? It looked to me like your car would slow down a little bit in the middle of the stage.
No, I was saving it. I wasn't going all out. I mean, it was pushing in 1 and 2 pretty bad towards the wall, but 3 and 4 was fast. But I started realizing if I went down towards the bottom, in 1, I think it's 1 and 2 it was, I got a better, run off. So that's what I started doing there at the end. And then I started picking them back up again. But yeah, towards 1 and 2, I was just like Robbie said, I was just testing the car out, seeing what it could do. I was just laying back, riding, just staying up with them, and turned out good at the end. I just wish we didn't have to touch at the end.
I mean, it made it a little bit exciting for my. I'm like, oh, bump and run.
Yeah.
I mean, but it was not too bad of a contact. It was close racing. Tires were just wearing out every lap. It was looser and looser and looser, and so it was a matter of time. Thankfully, it wasn't really bad, and it take both of y'all out. So glad that everybody made it across the line. I don't know about you guys, but I think we about wrapped it up here. Getting ready for the playoffs next week at is it Indianapolis? I think is what I just saw.
Yeah.
So the custom guys go to Indianapolis next weekend for Old School Motorsports. Catch all the action here again next week on the Old School Motorsports YouTube channel. Thank you for everybody who watched. Shout out again to Keselowski Nation and Go Fast Life. Also, shout out to that beautiful 77 car. Nice paint scheme, good run, top 3 finish.
Thank you, guys.
Absolutely.
Good night. I can't wait to go back and watch this one.
That was an awesome race.
That was fun. It was fun.
I'm excited to watch it. I wasn't even.
It would be exciting to watch, for sure.
Well, prayers to your friend there, my friend Bob, and